Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another DC Multiverse McFarlane Toys figure unboxing and review video. Now today, I'm super excited to be taking a look at Steppenwolf based off his appearance in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now I have kicked off this series of reviews, starting with, of course, Darkseid, who I loved, and today we'll be doing Steppenwolf and very soon the rest of the League. So definitely hit that subscribe and bell notification icon so you're notified as soon as those videos go live on the channel. Now if you are looking to pick up this guy, either version of Darkseid or the rest of the League, they are available from toyswonderland.com. I have included the link down in the description below, and they do have 12-month installment plans if you are a fan of paying off your figures over time. What we are going to do now though is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. Here we have the box art for Steppenwolf. It's done in the usual DC Multiverse style. Once again, I really like how simple yet classy it is. We do have DC Multiverse right up the front, plus a Justice League 2021 logo, and of course an open window where you can see the enormous Steppenwolf waiting for us on the inside. Steppenwolf down the side, an image of him from the movie on the back, plus of course a sneak peek at the rest of the wave. I'm really excited to get those guys and gals unboxed as well. But we are here to take a look at Steppenwolf, so let's get him out here. And here we have him in his clam tray. This guy looks equally as big as Darkseid, if not potentially even a little bit bigger. Plus, the sculpt here is insane. There is so much going on, and I can already tell you that these spikes aren't all that rubbery. I'm actually not sure how Todd and the crew managed to get this through whatever regulatory approvals had to happen, because these feel relatively spiky, so do be careful. Now of course he does come with his weapon up on top, as well as some more bits and pieces down below. So what we are going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. Here we have all the accessories that come with Steppenwolf, and as you can see, just like the recently reviewed Darkseid, he doesn't come with a ton of stuff, you just get his big honkin' axe. But this thing is painted and sculpted very, very nicely. There's a ton of textural detail, plus it's metallic, plus it does have a wash over the top to bring out all of that gorgeous sculpted in detail. This piece is very, very impressive. He also comes with a Steppenwolf trading card with that exact same image we saw on the back of the box, plus a little read-up if you'd like to pause that and give it a read. Lastly, we do get the tried and true DC Multiverse display base, except mine has a bit of a misprint. The DC logo is slightly off to the side where it should be centered. Nevertheless, it is slightly small, but it definitely will get the job done. What we are going to do now though is get Steppenwolf himself out here and take a closer look. And here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. And Houston, we may have a problem. Unfortunately, due to how this guy's feet are sculpted, he literally cannot stand without the display base. Maybe if you're a far more patient poser than I am, you can get this guy to balance, but for me, I just straight up opted for the stand after about 5 to 10 minutes of futzing around with him, so yes, a little bit frustrated, but the look of him is undeniable. He is really well done. The sculpt, the paint applications, the proportions, the size, the mass, just like Darkseid, he feels like you are getting bang for your buck. This guy is going to look phenomenal alongside the rest of the League, either from Figuarts, Mafex, Mezco, or indeed McFarlane. So yeah, I'm really happy that someone tackled this super complex design, and I'm even more happy that it was McFarlane because something like this is right in their wheelhouse. What we are going to do now though is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. And here we have him up close and personal. Now this guy is what I would consider a hot mess of sculpted detail, and of course I mean that in the best way. There is a ton of sculpted in texture and panels and lines and little spikies going everywhere. I really feel bad for the design team who were challenged with making this guy a reality. I can't imagine making this thing in a digital sculpting program was overly easy, because, I mean, just look at him, it's visual overload. But they nailed it, they did a really good job here. Now, starting off with the head sculpt, yeah, that's Steppenwolf. They've nailed the shape and design of the helmet. There's a ton of sculpted in texture and detail, even on the underside. I mean, these lines kind of just go any way they see fit. There's no real order to them, but they look really, really good. So too does the face. Yep, they've nailed it. That's Steppenwolf. I love the expression. You can see the eyes are digitally printed, and he does have a nice matte paint to his skin tone. Some people have said his face is a little bit small, but seeing him at a distance, I reckon everything looks nice and in proportion. To me, he looks perfectly serviceable. As for the rest of his body, yeah, there is a ton going on here. I'm not exactly sure what to talk about, because it's not like there's defined armor panels and gauntlets. I mean, he's just covered head to toe in armor, and it's really nicely done. He does have a rubbery loincloth that comes down the back and the front, which doesn't really get in the way of articulation, and he does have a little bit of matte paint for his hands. I mean, just check out the sculpt work on the hands. There are a bunch of fingers. They go, once again, in pretty much any direction. He looks very, very alien-like, but that does work for me. Now, you do have to be careful of these spikies. He actually did spike me earlier and cut my thumb. These aren't overly rubbery, they're a little bit too stiff to be child safe, so do be careful when you are handling your Steppenwolf. Now, coming down to the really long and slender legs, he does have a little bit more paint on his feet here, on the underside plus on the toes, which actually are individually articulated. Now, unfortunately, I've had a very difficult time getting my Steppenwolf to stand. I mean, check out the size of his feet. They are really, really small, and he has no heel whatsoever. But that's kind of down to the design of the character model rather than the figure. So at the very least, they do include a display base to get this guy standing up. Now, if you've already seen the Darkseid review, you know exactly how this comparison goes. Darkseid is shorter, but significantly chunkier and beefier, whereas Steppenwolf has a ton more sculpted in texture and detail, and I think the paint applications do look better on him. He's a lot more of a shiny silver throughout the entire body. Plus, he is a little bit taller to his head, but then again, he's a little bit slimmer, and also, he can't stand without the display base. Overall, though, both of these figures will look fantastic on your shelf. Next up, here we have him alongside Superman. Don't worry, the Justice League review is coming up on the channel very soon, so you will get an idea as to how the rest of the League scale alongside Steppenwolf, but for now, this should give you a pretty good idea. I think this scaling looks perfect. Steppenwolf is a lot taller, but not overly so. I reckon based off the film, this here is about right. Now granted, if you are using smaller scale figures, then obviously Darkseid and Steppenwolf will start to get substantially bigger, but honestly, I don't think that's a huge issue, especially for something like that, when you have Superman in midair potentially punching Steppenwolf, it's not such a big deal. Speaking of which, here we have the Mezco Tactical Suit Batman and the Aquaman, both of course from Justice League. Now I do have the Flash, Superman and Batman 3-pack on pre-order, so I will be reviewing that when that eventually comes out, but unfortunately, just like with Hot Toys, we don't have a Cyborg yet. I'm planning on picking up the Mafex version to complete my set of slightly smaller scaled League members, and also potentially the Figuarts version of Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman 1984, just because I think that one looks the best. But whichever way you're going for your league, as you can see, Steppenwolf is a lot bigger, so I'm pretty sure he's going to work. Just going over articulation on Steppenwolf. Now bear in mind, this is my personal copy of the figure, and I've already been spiked once, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful when I'm articulating mine. If you want to push the joints a little bit further on yours, that's totally your call. Now starting off with the head sculpt, it is on a dumbbell joint and you do get a fairly decent range of motion in all directions. You will get a little bit of gapping in the back, but that's totally fine for me. The arms will go up on ratchets to about there. They will swivel forward and back. There is a butterfly joint at the shoulder, a swivel at the bicep, which is very nicely hidden. I mean, I didn't even really notice it was there. We do have a single bend at the elbow, getting you to 90, and I'm pretty sure that will incorporate a little bit of swivel as well. The wrists do hinge forward and back, and they will swivel side to side. As for the torso, there's multiple joints. One up here, then one in the waist, so combined, you do get fairly decent crunch forward and back, swivel and pivot side to side. The legs go forward on ratchets to about there, out to there, swivel at the thigh, a single bend at the knee, which is incredibly stiff and sturdy, plus of course down here at the foot, forward and backwards on ratchets, swivel and a little teeny bit of pivot, plus individual toe articulation. Just wrapping up on the Zack Snyder's Justice League Steppenwolf. I mean, there's no other way to describe this guy except for total badass. I love the way this guy looks in figure format. The sculpt is incredible. It's super intricate. There's a ton of detail there. There's a little spiky sticking out of him. He's then painted really nicely with a metallic wash over the top. Is he as chrome and shiny as he was in the film? No, obviously he isn't. If you wanted to add more chrome paint over the top though, yes, you can totally do that and he will look better, but fresh out of the box, I'm still really happy with the end product. I know some people aren't, and I totally get it. This guy is a little bit more pricey because he's one of the bigger deluxe figures, but for me, does it look like Steppenwolf? Yes. Is he painted well enough that he looks like he does in the movie? Yes. Does he come with a kick-ass accessory that he uses in the film? Also yes, being of course his axe. So for me, this guy works on a bunch of different levels. And he can work for a bunch of different lines. As I said earlier, I'm building out a Mezco Justice League, so this guy is going to be my Steppenwolf in that display, but if you're doing Mafex or Figuarts or even McFarlane, this guy's going to work very, very nicely. Now if you are looking to pick him up, he is available from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is of course down in the description below, and they do have 12-month installment plans if you are a fan of paying off your figures over time. Also, while you are down there, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.